Hey guys, we're finally on X, so smash that follow button at Cartier Family, eating with the Z, for your daily dose of content. From video clips to exclusive behind the scenes stuff that we can't even post on YouTube. We'll be posting about politics, just random viral funny stuff, and sports, you name it.
Listen, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security. She turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't turn down the soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th.
Did you call military or law enforcement?
What?
Did you call military or law enforcement at the moment the Capitol was under attack?
I'm not going to tell you anything. Let me put it this way. I behaved so well. I did such a good job. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't do that,
but
and now
Nancy
I understand.
Pelosi doesn't have the authority that
the
you
police
have as
testified
commander-in-chief, though.
Listen to me, Kristen. Listen to me. I understand that the police testified against her, the chief very strongly against her. Capitol Police, great people. They testified against her, and they burned all the evidence. Okay, they burned all the evidence. They destroyed all the evidence about Nancy Pelosi.
What do you say to people who wonder why you as commander-in-chief, you have authorities that Nancy Pelosi doesn't have as commander-in-chief?
No, she has authority over
Why
the
didn't
Capitol.
you send help in that moment, though?
Frankly, just so you understand, I assumed that she took care of it. She turned down.
So when you realized that the National Guard wasn't coming?
Well, you don't realize anything until quite a while. National Guard not coming. I asked it to be there 3 days in advance, and she turned it down.
She says that request was never officially made.
Oh, they're stressing my guy out, man. He seems so stressed in this. Like, he's really telling the truth.
This is old.
No, I know it's old, but it's like
it's more crazy because everything he said is
the
coming
truth.
to life.
It's because this is what hurt his
campaign
legacy and campaign the most. This is what everyone uses when they say, "Well, he let January, he incited a." Yeah. So that's why he's on edge about that one.
It's just crazy. Like everything he said was a conspiracy is coming to life in 2024.
Nancy Pelosi.
What do you say to people who wonder why you as commander-in-chief, you have authorities that Nancy Pelosi doesn't have as commander-in-chief?
No, she has authority over the
Why didn't
Capitol.
you send help in that moment, though?
Frankly, just so you understand, I assumed that she took care of it. She turned down.
So when you realized that the National Guard wasn't coming?
Well, you don't realize anything until quite a while. National Guard not coming. I asked it to be there 3 days in advance, and she turned it down.
She says that request was never officially made.
Oh,
just so you know.
Let me just tell you.
Let me ask you about pardons, Mr. President.
The mayor of D.C. gave us a letter saying that she turns it down. Okay, we have it. Nancy Pelosi also was asked, and she turned it down. The police commissioner
I'm talking about
Capitol
the day
Police,
of,
wait a minute.
Yep.
Capitol Police said that he wanted it, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't accept it. She's responsible for January 6th.
Mr. President.
Nancy Pelosi's responsible.
Mr. President, you're the president, though. You have authorities that no one else has as the commander-in-chief. Do you think you showed leadership on that?
Yes, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
You know what makes it more? They're still looking like what Fake said. This is a insurrection, bro. Because it's like
it's a setup.
They took away the guards. You think
turned
she
down
had
3 days prior? Turned down 10,000 national.
Had FBI in the crowd.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff?
They slide in their car like he's whipping
Should
it.
we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they have been. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
So Nancy Pelosi took responsibility for James.
You know what? This looks so bad. It's like you see all this, and then they trying to say he's a threat to democracy, and then he's gonna turn back and get revenge on everybody. How the people that is doing the dirt to the man telling us that he gonna get revenge on them?
That's like
and get high.
I tell you, that's the same thing. They do the same thing. A girl that's be cheating go always accuse you of cheating. Whole time she cheating.
Why do you think this is stirred up and a brouhaha on the right and in some corners of the media today?
Well, because of the fact is that the President of the United States, the former president, and his toadies do not want to face the facts. They're trying to do revisionist history on January 6th. But we cannot let us be dragged into their, again, false impression of what happened that day. They know what happened that day. They know how serious it is and was and continues to have an impact on our country. And yet they want to call the people who were in there hostages. Last night I received the Lincoln Award. I was so proud of receiving that. And I said in my remarks, Lincoln built the dome on the Capitol. He insisted that it be built during the Civil War so that it could show the resilience of America.
It's her eyelid.
And to see these people coming through the Capitol with their foul deeds and foul actions, waving Confederate flags and Nazi flags under Lincoln's dome was so shameful. And yet this president who incited, this former president who incited this insurrection would not send the National Guard for hours. People were harmed, people were killed, but died one way or another. And what did he do but try to deny that any of it happened? This is a terrible thing. But let us not take away the attention of what we need to do to go forward. We have to unify our country. We have.
What Nazi flag was that? January 6th?
We never saw
the Proud Boys, I think, was there. That's why they was trying to say
the Pride Boys.
Yeah, you never heard of the Proud Boys?
Pride or Proud?
Proud Boys.
Proud?
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with Nazi flags?
Because they was like I think they was a.
I'm looking at all the flags.
Right wing extremist group.
Yeah.
I see a Confederate flag.
They apparently they're a white nationalist group. That's what people was trying to say.
Yeah, Nazi flags are crazy though.
Yeah, hell no. Yeah, we not.
That's insane.
We don't condone none of that.
I don't think nobody's that damn extreme on either side of the parties.
No, we got some extremists on both sides.
What?
Yeah, but Nazi flags is crazy.
Okay,
the extremists are people that want communism.
Y'all crucified me for not letting this ride. What is wrong with her eyelids or something, bro? I can't.
She's old, bro. What you want to do? You want a different answer?
Bro, I'm not making fun of her, but like, man, this look like she got a mask on or something, bro. I see why they be saying reptilians and stuff. Look at this. Look at this. What is going on right now?
She's old.
We got a Scooby-Doo.
She's like 70-something.
It's Barack.
And she got a Ukraine flag on. Come on, like, what's going on right now? How you a U.S. representative with another country flag on your chest?
I'm telling you, bro, we gotta pull the mask. Barack, Al Sharpton, Brandon from Chicago,
Mayor Brandon
was so shameful, and yet this president who incited, this former president who incited this insurrection would not send the National Guard for hours. People were harmed, people were killed, but died one way or another. And what did he do but try to deny that any of it happened? This is a terrible thing. But let us not take away the attention of what we need to do to go forward. We have to unify our country. We have to bring people together in a way that honors the vision of our founders, the sacrifice of our men and women in uniform, as well as the aspirations of our children. I just came back from D-Day in Normandy to see our veterans there it was the 80th anniversary of it. Some of the youngest of them were 97, some over 100. They fought for our freedom, and yet you see how it is being denigrated by the former president and his Republican toadies.
Congress passed a law. It's 2 U.S. Code 1970. Look it up. Just make sure you look it up before December 22 when they changed it. So what was in effect on the 6th, that requires me to go and get approval for bringing in National Guard or federal assistance in advance. I have to go to the Capitol Police Board and get approval from congressional leadership in advance, like I did on January 3rd. I'm denied twice because of optics and because the intelligence didn't support it. So think about that.
Let me ask you the question, who made that decision? Who denied you?
I was denied by Paul Irving, House Sergeant at Arms, and also Mike Stenger, Senate Sergeant at Arms.
And who do they
on
work?
January 3rd.
Who do they work for?
It would have been working for Pelosi on the House side. That Pelosi was the #1 boss, and then McConnell on the Senate side.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
So effectively, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi shut down your request.
My request was shut down, one, because of optics, which is interesting. You're going to hear that term come up a couple more times. Optics, or the look of the National Guard on the Hill. The military, the United States military, And this gets really convoluted once you get into the response on January 6th and how I was delayed getting resources. You have the United States military, Secretary of Defense or Acting Secretary of Defense Miller and General Milley had both discussed locking down the city of Washington, D.C. because they were so worried about violence at the Capitol on January 6th. On Sunday and Monday, they had been discussing locking down the city, revoking permits on Capitol Hill because of the concern for violence. You know who issues the permits on Capitol Hills for demonstrations? I do. You know who wasn't told? Me. Instead, on January 4th, what does Miller do? No. He puts out a memo restricting the National Guard from carrying the various weapons, any civil disobedience equipment that would be utilized for the very demonstrations or violence that he sees coming. It just doesn't make any sense.
Wait. So the military says we're so concerned about potential imminent violence that we are considering shutting down the city. But at the very same time, they decide that the National Guard can't adopt an aggressive posture to protect the city.
They're deploying because they're going to be deploying National Guard to assist Washington, D.C. with crowd control at metros and some of the traffic control areas. But they put this out on January 4th, specific to January 5th and 6th. And this direction affected the National Guard in Virginia and Maryland. When I was calling begging for assistance on January 6th, they weren't allowed to respond at first. You look at Governor Hogan. He did a press conference saying he was begging to respond and he was not being denied by the Pentagon. All because of the memo.
Wow. That might actually be the worst January 6th clip I have ever seen.
This is the most evidence that shows that this was a clear case of entrapment.
Them videos.
Because y'all denied the National Guard, the man who's in charge of the National Guard and trying to do things on January 4th, knowing that on January 6th there's going to be some issues. Y'all denied him from doing his job, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, and then so that they would let it happen so that they could turn around and blame Trump
Nazis.
So that it would hurt his case.
Y'all seen them.
It's crazy that they had the FBI,
That is a smart setup. I'm not gonna lie. The right need to start taking some of these tricks.
This is actually
don't say
insane
that.
what I'm finna say.
It'll be a lot of banana Republicans.
But
it's already.
I don't condone any violence, guys. I don't. But when I said it was a little insane for them to have that pole with the hanging pole that said Nancy Pelosi or something on it. They were like, do you remember? Okay, they had
hanging her. Yeah.
They had like a thing where it was like, hang Nancy Pelosi. I said that was very insane, but I'm gonna shut up after this. I'm gonna just shut up. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I didn't know.
I ain't gonna say nothing, but I thought that was
didn't
a little extreme.
Did not how they're doing with the.
It was extreme still, but just seeing this,
they're trying their hardest.
Because I said maybe it is some right extremists. That's pretty insane. But looking at these clips. Wow, we got some evil people in these political positions, and at this point,
they'll do anything.
I'm cool with Trump coming and wiping everybody that he think is evil out of them positions.
And
let's put some real Americans in the
Scandal. We need to all go watch Scandal, bro.
Let's put some real Americans in these positions.
It definitely has a left agenda on there, but these people do what they want. The elites. I was never a conspiracy theorist. I was the most opposite. But I think that I do believe January 6th was entrapment, and I believe that, it's not a matter of belief anymore. We're seeing it now from the horse's mouth in both sides. The man who runs the National Guard and Nancy Pelosi.
Hold on, let's see this clip one more time.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for.
That's annoying.
I just can't get over how fast that car is sliding.
It's not sliding that fast.
You hearing the tires?
It's just the engine. You can hear, but you look, it's not going that fast.
You didn't hear the tires, bro?
That's what happens
for what was going on there.
They're sliding.
They're not.
I heard the
ridiculous.
It might not be.
I'll be pushing way harder than that.
Well, guys,
Okay. I got a question.
That's the proof right there.
Why somebody in her own team will record this in this situation?
They know the truth. They know the truth. They're like, man, this nigga is got him. You can't say nothing these days because somebody is always recording. So this is another case. I would love to see what Vivek got to say about this.
Every single clip in this right here is is literal proof besides them uncuffing the people that came into the Capitol and letting them roam free. Because we knew right there, but we was like, man, we don't know. Maybe
Exhibit
the police.
A.
But this right here is literal proof.
You know what? I would love, like, if I was in high school or something, and I wasn't into politics at all, but you could do a presentation on this. Why January 6th was entrapment. Exhibit A.
You literally could.
Here's the videos of this, of them letting them go, the police escorting. These clips, Nancy Pelosi,
It's a bunch of clips.
It looks too bad, bro.
It was like, after all the evidence reviewed, you cannot say, you may be able to be like, okay, maybe Trump didn't handle it well, but you cannot say, sit here and say.
Peaceful, though. That's
he did.
And that's the thing, he's hurt at this point.
And he requested 10,000.
He don't know if he just got cheated out of it. So it's like
he did.
Okay, but I'm saying at the same time, like
when you had this on top of it,
he's not out of power, but he's just like, I'm dethroned from my position.
Yeah. And they say he wouldn't leave.
Why Biden?
He left.
Why Nancy? Why nobody in the Capitol that had control of that Capitol did not do anything about that? They blame him.
Because they knew it would serve their agenda to make him take the lick.
Mm-hmm. They just want him to go out bad.
So that Joe Biden could win.
Yeah, so this would never happen again. They was just trying to have a smear campaign.
Smear his reputation.
Right before another year.
They kept going. January 6th. Oh, we finna get him with this.
Now what do they do with the illegals? We're predicting the future here. Alex Jones time. They go, all the illegals in. He's going to deport all the illegals. And they're going to say, oh, he hates illegals.
Yeah, like they've been saying, man. That's not going to be one anymore. It's going to be way more black people not saying yes.
Hey, it's kind of crazy, bro. He really said.
But the Democrat argument is that
he's
sad.
a felon.
No,
you're going to vote for a convicted felon.
It's very sad that he's going to deport the families,
say.
break up the families. You know, how is he? I was arguing with a guy. He was a guy the other day. How is he going to know who's illegal? They don't have an identification. They're going to split up their family. You know, I mean, I feel bad about that.
No, they could just take them with them.
Yeah, hopefully they do that. Hopefully he has something.
There's legal ways, but I got family right now, as we speak, I have family in Ghana that is trying to come over here and they have a degree. They have a bachelor's degree from a 4-year university and they're trying to get their master's degree. But with all the things that are going on with the immigrants and stuff, he can't get over here. He would come over here and be a functioning, helping society. But because of what's going on, he can't come over here. So that's why I'm personally damn near affected by this shit.
Yeah. Well, let me not get emotional, but use my emotion on that type of situation and just know that we can't do that if we want our country.
It's over with. Get them out of here, man. They got too many things going on.
We can't be emotional with something like this, guys.
It's a problem.
What y'all think about this, guys. We gone.